Good morning, physics. Today is May 1st, and it is time for us to get jiggy with it. So, what we're doing today is we're sort of continuing the idea of modeling waves. Now, what I have here is a picture I've taken of my own of a model of a wave I put together out of a series of boxes and books. So this is sort of the type of thing I'm looking for from you all in terms of what I want for your model is something physical made out of some objects. In this case, I chose boxes because I already had a stack of them, and so it made sense to me to just add a little bit more to the stack. And what you can do is, I'm sort of labeling it digitally, but you could label it physically, like put the physical labels down. To sort of label what you're doing. So, moving sort of on from this, there are a few different components that we learned about yesterday. If we look at my original post, so if I scroll up here, we have things like the peak, the trough, wavelength, and all of that. And so what I want us to do is sort of do the same thing and label on these photos sort of your peak, trough, wavelength, if you can. So what I'm going to do is, if we do it, I would label this part. This would be our trough. And then right here, I'm going to label this as a peak. And then I'm also going to say this is another peak. Usually they're a bit more symmetrical, which can be done by sort of making it longer. I just wanted to create a proof of concept and sort of give you an idea of what to do. So we have peak right here. And then we can choose a different color. Let's go with red. And let's label this distance, since this is the distance from the midline to the peak. This would be an example of amplitude. And same with this. And I'm sorry, it gets a little hard to see. And then let's go with black, and let's just sort of do the distance from peak to peak. Maybe I shouldn't have done black. Let's go a little thicker. Okay, cool. And then this length, peak to peak, would be the wavelength. So wavelength. Now, one of the things we can't model on our wave is the frequency or the period very well, because period would involve time, and in these models, they're not moving. However, if you manage to make a model that's moving and you can actually label the period or the frequency, so how many times the wave sort of moves from peak to peak, or how many wavelengths complete per second, that would be the frequency of the wave. You can do that, and that would be really impressive. What I'm looking for here is to just sort of do something a little creative, to get out there, sort of take this idea of waves and create your own and label it. What I would like to do is, with the most interesting model of the waves, to sort of have it get sent out to the community with the creator's permission as sort of part of one of our newsletters, because I just think it's sort of one of those fun things that might encourage you all to have fun with it and see what you can do. So the model is going to be due Monday. And These are the 5 things you basically need to put on it, or 4 things, I should say: the wavelength, the peak, trough, amplitude. And that's pretty much it. It should either have 2 peaks or 2 troughs in it, so then you can accurately label the wavelength. But other than that, however big you want to make it, or out of whatever you want to make it: siblings, socks, laundry, shoelaces, spaghetti, other types of food, shoes, chalk, really anything. Like, as amazing as you can get, please do so. All right, so that's all for this video, and I hope you enjoy your Friday and your weekend, and I'll see you all Monday.